Hello, I'm AppyX and welcome back to an episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I've been playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the Xbox, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course destroying stuff. And today I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of building that follows on from a destruction project, because you might recall at one point I had a wooden mansion here, and obviously if you've been watching the streams, you saw me slowly destroy the wooden mansion, and now we've got all the bits, we've got a whole bunch of all the wooden mansion parts, and I'm rebuilding it again from scratch. It's a really fun little project, and we're a decent amount of the way through it, and given that I figured I'd just come back to it this week, I figured let's get some real work done here. And also, let's remove some of these odd blocks. Let's get some real work done here, and that's what I'm doing in today's video. We're getting some serious progress made on the wooden mansion, because I have a lot of blocks to use up, and I'm slowly starting to again, I have the vision again in my head, so we're slowly working on that a bit more. It's going to be great fun, and also, let's get this floor done, because it's just been missing. So yeah, today's going to be doing a lot of wooden mansion stuff. We're going to put the windows on, we're going to put like a second floor on, or a fourth floor, I guess it'd be. And also, I'm going to be talking about, because obviously, Let's Play is an opportunity to talk about what I've been up to the past week. It's a little bit of a vlog, in case you're curious as to, what's been going on with the toy cat. And if that is your curiosity, then I went to America since last week. So yeah, I want to talk about it, because there's a bunch of, minor weird things to go through, because I was there for a convention. So, again, met lots of people. Probably more people in, one weekend than I, on average, meet in, a week or something. But yeah, that's what I did this weekend. It was a lot of fun. And let me tell you about it in today's thing. So yeah, let me just start by saying that, yeah, background stuff, lots and lots of placement. We have to place a whole fourth floor. We have to finish this floor, and we're also going to be trying to place some windows and basically just getting this kind of middle section kind of done, because I want to have some arms come off this and have some heads come off this. Again, I'm rebuilding the wooden mansion, but from scratch, so I'm making it look more like a robot than anything else. And I know that's bizarre, but it's what we're going to try and do. So just hopefully you can follow me on that. So yeah, with that said, let's start by talking about the fact that I flew to America, and it was basically the convention just hit me up, and they're like, if you want, you can take any airline you want there, just let us know, we'll try and make it happen. And I was like, oh, so any airline choice. And as it turns out, there is actually a direct flight from where I live, London, to Minneapolis / St. Paul. There's just it's a really weird direct flight to have, but it is, and it's with Delta. So I was like, okay, I'll fly Delta. I'd heard nothing good about them before this, but I was like, okay, sure, if it's a direct flight is, it's nicer to have a 8-hour direct flight than 8 hours indirect and then 4 hours after that. It just makes sense to save my time and to go with the slightly, in my opinion, worse flight. But then I actually, got on board the thing, and it was one of the best flights I've ever had, especially international wise. They tried their hardest. There were so many drinks, the food was solid, etc., etc. And it made me wonder, also, I guess we'll have a staircase up there, because it'll be much easier to place this from the bottom floor, but it made me realize, because the only thing, again, I've only heard terrible things about Delta, but for me, it was one of the best flying experiences I've had in a while. We have to work out what the center is first, so we'll do this stuff. But yeah, for me, it was one of the best flying experiences that I'd ever had, and yeah, it then made me realize so why does everyone complain about as someone who just lives in the UK, I see people non-stop complain about again, Delta's the worst, and I think Delta and United there's three major US airlines. There's American, there's Delta, there's United. People complain non-stop about the last two, the last two, I think. Delta and United, you see United, they're killing dogs every few days. They're sending them to Tokyo. They're killing. They're seriously assaulting passengers. And it's wow, that sounds terrible. And Delta, you hear horrible things. Somehow, it's bad enough that people are even though United might beat me up, I'd still rather fly them with Delta. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a bad flight, but it's cool. I'd love to give it an experience. But the truth is that also I guess we have 2 more blocks there. And then that's the middle, right? Yeah, that's the middle. So, but the truth was, it was a really solid flight, and yeah, again, one of the best flights I've ever had. And it made, so I looked into it, because I was like, how does this happen? How do I have a really great flight with an airline that, again, sucks for everyone else, it seems? And as it turns out, they suck for domestic flights, as in flights leaving and departing from the US. But when it comes to international flights, they're actually pretty solid. And the reason for that, again, it's kind of funny in my opinion, and the reason for that is because when they're flying domestically, they're just competing with those other American airlines, American, United, but when they're flying internationally, they have to compete with, again, European airlines, which are known as good in America, and, Asian airlines, etc., so they have to, be really solid, and, they do a good job for that, and it's kind of funny to me that, so the way these airlines work is they lure you in with the good service, they give really bad service to the people in the country they're serving, but they give amazing service if you happen to be from Europe. So, yeah, I got I had a really solid flight. Again, like it's rare that you have a flight that you can describe as like great, and you know, like no flight home wasn't too great, but it was like, yeah, that was solid. And since I really love flying, I really love like getting on a plane for the first time. I love like, you know, being able to see the view and stuff. It was wonderful, and I slept and I played games. I had, you know, all the good stuff that you want from a flight. So yeah, let's talk though about America itself, because I landed, went through the whole U.S. customs thing where they hold you for 2 hours and, you know, make you wait in a line and go, oh, are you sure you're not here to commit domestic terrorism? You know, whatever they say, they make up a bunch of like, you know, like things on the spot, like, oh, it seems suspicious that you're all the way from London to here. And it's like, I mean, there are flights direct from London to, like, again, like I hopped on the flight that took me here. I don't know why that's suspicious to you, but okay, if you think that's suspicious, that's fine. Also, is this lined up right? I think it is. So, yeah, like, so you go for a whole rigmarole. But I go into the US eventually, and it's been a year since I last went. And it was really great, because I knew the convention was going to be on, like, Saturday and Sunday, and it's like, okay, I'll allot my whole, like, mental planning for those days, because, you know, going to convention, especially, like, again, there was, like, 10,000 people there, a lot of people there to meet me. It was, like, one, it's really cool, like, again, I like meeting fans, and two, at least, you know, situations like that. And two, it was like, okay, so I need all my mental energy for that. But that means that I have, you know, some days for the rest of this sort of thing. So I explored a little bit. I really love, so I think I've complimented this system like so many times, but I'll do it again. But in Toronto, they have like this underground, it's called the Path, I think. Like, basically, it's so cold in Toronto during the winters that they just connected all the buildings underground. And it's so cold in Minneapolis during the winters, like minus 25 Celsius or something, that they connected all the buildings via, you know, like skyways in the thing. And again, I think that alone is a cool enough reason to visit. Like, it's a tiny thing, and it's probably a thing that only I like, because I like, you know, really weird, vague city stuff. But I was like, that's really great, actually. Like, wow, I can get from building to building without getting cold. And oh, there's a taco place in here. Isn't that wonderful? And yeah, basically, really love Minneapolis just because of the skyway thing. Like, it's a nice enough city otherwise. There's like good food. I'm sure there's like some fun going on somewhere. But you know, the big thing was that they have you know, like the skyway system. And I think that the reason that anyone goes there that isn't me is because they have something called the Mall of America nearby. So again, if you're apparently in America, it's like the hugest do. It's known as like the biggest tourist site. But I had never heard of the Mall of America until like a month ago or something, and apparently it used to be the largest shopping center in America, and people would go all over from America, like road trip from like 4 states over, just to go there, because again, it's a shopping mall so big it has a theme park, an aquarium, a go-kart track, a cinema. It's got like all the things that you would do, and first of all, that's pretty like insane, right? Like the oh god, no, okay. That's pretty insane. Okay, so this is gonna be tricky. Just gonna try my best. Go, okay. So, yeah, I really need to just light up this floor rather than dealing with this whole nightmare of whatever's going on right now. Because it's kind of scary that, yeah, you know, we'll work out something. We'll work out something. I'll bring some torches around next time. I probably won't, but we should do that. So yeah, but yeah, it's like huge, and people go there from all over America, and people fly in from other countries. There are hotels in the, like this is such a big attraction to some people that there are hotels, so you can spend your entire, you know, weekend or week-long trip just inside this shopping center. Again, I don't understand exactly what the deal with that is, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I went there and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be the largest one in America. Like, that's gonna be huge, right? And it's not actually that big. It's like pretty big, like, you know, big enough. There is space in there, like, you know, it's a big shopping center, but it's like not that big. It takes like 7 minutes to walk around the entire thing, and it's like, oh, okay, then that's. And I didn't quite get it, like, but I guess, like, you know, maybe the variety in the stores and the theme park thing. And again, don't get it at all, but I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. I just think it's interesting that it's not the biggest one in America now, because, like, that was their big selling point. But my favorite little fun facts are, like, because, oh, also, am I sure this is lined up, or is, okay, whatever. We'll just assume it is. So now we're going to place that all the way till we reach over to here. And look at that. Now we got, like a real connection point, and we can start placing the things from above. How wonderful. So, yeah, we're going to have a whole second floor built here, just because that's essential. Oh, I probably have to watch out for not, like, I have to bring torches, because otherwise this whole place will be not properly lit. So, again, I've got to worry about that. But, again, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, yeah, that was, I checked out Minneapolis. Really great thing. But then I had the whole convention thing to go to. And so, you know, at the convention, met a whole bunch of fans. Really liked it. I didn't like, though, okay, this is, I think, like, the most first world YouTuber problem. But like, my favorite thing is meeting fans who like, again, care, like want to meet me. But then there's always this thing, and I didn't even realize this is like the secret behind the scenes of conventions, but they try to deliberately like put you in groups so that people will, who know someone else will come to sign for you, and then like, oh, look, now you can meet YouTubers. It's like, I feel like if you don't know a YouTubers are the least interesting people to meet. Like, if you told me I could meet, I'm going to try and name a big YouTuber that I don't know, like, at all. Like, I know they exist, but not much beyond that. Just one of the Jacks. There's like 5 famous Jacks on YouTube. I get them all confused. There's like Jack's Films, and there's Jack's Frags, and there's the other one from Ireland. And it's like, okay, there's lots of Jacks on YouTube. If you were to say like Jack is at this event, again, pick your favorite Jack. You probably subscribed to one of them, or you heard of one of them, and you're like, oh, you can meet him. I'd be like, I mean, I guess I'll watch his videos first, or so. Like, like if it was like I had to meet him, I'd be like, yeah, I'll see what he was all about. I'll learn about him. But if you were just like, you can meet a famous YouTuber, because the thing about like real famous people is like, oh yeah, there's some like prestige in doing that. I have like the tiniest celebrity story, right? I once met Steve Carell. I didn't say anything because I was like shell shook, but I was like in the same room as Steve Carell, the Office guy. You all know him, but that would have been cool. Like, just asked him, like, so what's the deal with this, that? But even then, like, you need to know who someone is, because just if someone is known as vaguely famous, then that's it. But anyway, my point being is, like, so I had to meet a lot of people who were just like, it says in this line, that, like, you're famous or something. And I have to be like, well, I mean, it's like YouTube famous, so not real fame. And that's kind of a bummer to say, so I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal on the internet, and it's like, that's not fun to say ever. So, yeah, that's like the one thing I don't like about conventions, I'd say, like the whole, like, being forced to meet, like, people feeling like they're forced to meet you, or like, it's the only, like, they're at a convention anyway, they've paid to get in, might as well go see the like you're at an attraction or something. It's like, no, I'd rather meet the real fans. I met some, like, crazy cool people, lots of cat girls, surprisingly, which was a funny little thing. It's cool to meet people like that. But when, like, it's a really, really weird experience to try and be like, oh yeah, I don't like it when people meet me who like feel like I'm famous and like, oh yeah, I love this famous thing, because like that's not who I am, right? Like, I'm not a famous part. I don't think I'm interesting enough unless you happen to like whatever I'm going. I think this video you're watching right now, wildly different to anything, like, not wildly different, but like wildly not the same as like things going on elsewhere, because wildly different implies something else. So yeah, anyway, that was like the only downside. But like the most of the fans I did meet, it was like, whoa, you watched, like, it's crazy being like, I've been subscribed since this video, and I'm like, that was a long time ago. So yeah, it was really cool to meet fans, and would love to do it again sometime. And I probably will do something like it again. Again, I really want to go to Texas. I don't even know why. Like, why Texas, you might ask? Not even entirely sure, but it just sounds like, oh yeah, that'd be fun, right? So yeah, I'd love to do an event like that again. Probably we'll do one at some point in the future. And yeah, basically, it's been like a year since my last Minecraft convention, so it's good to do one every now and then, just as a reminder of like, people are real. Because every now and then you can get distracted by numbers and think like, well, these numbers are only this high and they've been that high for a long time. But then you're like, oh yeah, but like, you're affecting a lot of real people with those numbers. And again, it's always cool to like see someone who's like, oh yeah, like, I met a 46-year-old mother actually, who was like, oh yeah, follow your videos, because, lots of people a little bit too obnoxious, and they do the whole clickbaiting thing where they pretend features in the game and when they're really not. And it's like, yeah, that, I can imagine that is annoying. I'm glad. I know it was a crazy cool experience, and I just wanted to tell you about it because it was really great. So yeah, as well as that though, I met some other. Actually, they weren't YouTubers. They were streamers, but because like these again, it's like kind of a buzzword to say like, would you like to meet some YouTubers? And like, I guess it's like a new, generation celebrities, right? Again, I don't want the whole label of celebrity. I feel like YouTuber is much better than it. But, while I was at the event, I met some other people who were called YouTubers, but they were mixer streamers, I think. And it was really interesting because, again, they're all American. So we're like, hey, it's, we're all going to be like, oh, let's go out for dinner, and we can't decide what we're going to. So I'm like, what about White Castle? And like, White Castle's terrible. It makes you, the next day is going to be a bad time. And I'm like, really, is it that bad? Because I've only ever heard White Castle from, there's the movie that's like widely available, like outside America, like, it's Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It's like a famous stoner comedy, and yeah, that's the only way I'd heard of White Castle. at all, and I was like, I have to try it because I want to try every US fast food chain. Like it's generally speaking, like fast food something you do pretty well over there. So I was like, okay, let's go to White Castle, and they're like, ugh. It's like all the way over there, and like I don't really want White Castle. But I was like, no, it's cool. We'll do whatever you want. If you don't have an idea though, we'll go to White Castle. And obviously, no one could agree on anything. We went to a hot dog stand, but like they were 8 years out of date or something. Or like their license expired 8 years. Sorry, like their food was probably fine, but like you probably shouldn't trust someone that like openly says that they're breaking the law. So anyway, my point being is that we went to White Castle, and everyone I met that saw the, because I bought okay, so this is my, okay, if you're not from America, my favorite thing about American fast food is the fact that White Castle, which is the very first fast food place in the entire world, as I understand it, they have a like their burgers are a little bit smaller than average. They're called sliders, not burgers. So what they do is to make up for that, they sell them in groups of like 4, 8, or 30, and I was like, well, I have to buy 30, right? Like, let's get the real America experience going on here. So I ate 30 White Castle. Again, they're called sliders, but they're burgers. And again, everyone I saw that was like, oh, you have a box of 30 of them, was just like, well, good luck tomorrow, man. And like, really? Is there just foods in America that's like just known for like giving you that kind of problems? And as it turns out, that is the case entirely. And I don't know why people still go there, but it's really popular. Like, everyone was like, yeah, let's not go there. But then when we got there, they're like, oh yeah, they do like a crab cake slider or whatever. I really want one of those. And it's just one of those funny things. But like, everyone wants to avoid the food, but everyone loves it at the same time. And if that's not a perfect sign of America, then what is? So yeah, that was my experience of White Castle. And the next day, like, I'll just say, everyone was right. And it was terrible to be at a convention while dealing with that. But, now I've learned a lesson. I don't know what the lesson is, but I'd like to believe I've learned some form of lesson. So yeah, let's fly back down. Let's go to sleep, and let's grab. Actually, let's do the windows on this floor first. I think we can do them before night falls. So another adventure I actually had is I actually for the very when I was in Singapore like 2 months ago, I bought something called disposable underwear. It was $2 Singaporean for 7 pairs of underwear. That's about $1.2 or like a pound. And it was like 7 pairs of underwear. So I figured, okay, let's try that out during the America trip. Because I wanted to bring as little stuff as possible and then dispose of it. So I could have room to bring back some American stuff. Oh, I really wanted to find Girl Scout cookies. I never did, which is sad. But like, I'll try again sometime. I'm coming back to America for like 24 hours in a month anyway. So I was like, okay, I really, really need to get these Girl Scout cookies. And therefore I bring less space. Therefore, I brought some disposable underwear. And okay, let me just share a little secret with you. Do not try disposable underwear. You might think, oh yeah, I love the idea. Like, it's probably better for the environment. Like, 1, disposable isn't better for the environment, as it turns out, significantly worse. And 2, it was basically just paper in the shape of an underwear. And I don't understand what the point of it was. Like, it didn't feel like I was wearing. I guess it felt like the little bit like it, and I was like, I guess I throw it away at the end of the day. And but I don't know which use case that's useful in. Like, surely, like, regular underwear isn't that much more expensive. Like, it's, like, I don't buy much underwear, I'll be honest with you. Like, maybe, like, a few pairs every year or so. But, like, probably, like, $1 or something for a pair. So, like, is it that big of a deal to have paper underwear instead? Apparently, in Asia, or Southeast Asia, it's a big deal. So, yeah, I've got me some disposable underwear now. Six other pairs of this, and I've got to work out some use for that. So, I don't know, comments down below, as well as, doing your usual responses and stuff. Let me know what I should do with my... Oh, that's a problem. Let me know what I should do with my 6 pairs of disposable underwear, because I was said I would bring some torches, so I guess we should go out and go get them. Oh, there's a window here just for that exact purpose. So let's go out there. Let's not come back until we have some torches. Easy stuff. So yeah, that's what you can do. And there you go. That was my. It took like 20 minutes just to explain what I was up to in America, but it was kind of a big deal. Okay, it was kind of a big deal. Like, it took like 4 days of my life, and again, although I love the convention thing, I don't want to make it. There's a lot of guys who like only go to conventions, but then they make way less videos to make up for it. And I think I'd still rather focus on the majority of viewers, and then every now and then focus on the minority. Like, again, like I feel like to me the balance is better found by making YouTube videos. Like, again, twice every day if we can, and then if we have, do we have no torches, or do I just put them somewhere else? Okay, so we're out of torches, or we put them in a different chest. I'm going to believe the second option, because torches aren't really a block anyway. And I have a bunch of them lying around in one of these chests. There we go, just 14 torches. I'll use these, see how this goes. So put that in a stack, and oh god, we've got a whole issue here. So I'll just put these in there, and then make sure I come back for them. Okay, let's do this, But yeah, so there you go. There's my little update on what I was up to this past week and whatever. And I also wanted to just kind of mention that, like, I'm always, like, super, humbled isn't the right word, but I'm always, like, in this super state of, like, gratefulness whenever I'm doing something cool like that, because I love traveling, and the idea that, like, oh yeah, I traveled for, you know, like, for business, for the convention. Like, there's something, okay, so we have to be really careful about these floors, because even on the, oh god, there was, like, 3 creepers on that floor. There was one on the stairs, too, so that's scary. Whew, okay, so are they coming after me? They're not. So I guess I should just, like, despawn the creepers sometime. That's super terrifying stuff. I'm gonna have nightmares about that now. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about nightmare. Well, I guess, like, about science and life and stuff, because I talk about this all the time, where I'm like, you know, most people live their life to do, like, normal stuff, but I like to experiment with life sometimes. So as I record this, it's Saturday the 24th. I mean 31st, 24th, same day really. And basically, like today, last night, I got the worst sleep. I wanted to sleep at 11:45, but I had, like, an issue. I'm not going to explain what the issue was, because, like, there are some issues you just don't explain on the internet, right? Like again, when I was explaining the White Castle, I was like, it gives you issues the next day, and it was a pain to deal with them. Like, you just vaguely hint at them. So yeah, I had issues, and like, I was like, oh god, you know, like, it hurts a little bit too much to sleep. And then, so by the time I slept, it was 2:30, and I woke up at 6. I slept again till, like, 7. But basically, my point is, I got garbage sleep last night. And given that I try to give myself, like, the best sleep I can all the time, because, you know, I work myself. Most of my days are just doing videos and stuff. So I can, you know, generally speaking, if I'm making videos or whatever, I'll just give myself the extra sleep. I'm worth it or whatever. But today I couldn't, because I'm dealing with, like, coming back from America, jet lag, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, we gotta work around this. And before I went to sleep, because it was like 2:30 and I still wasn't quite asleep, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. So I went to go get myself some, you know, like, a snack. The only thing I had that I could, like, just take a small bite of and not feel bad and unhealthy, because going to America, like, I just load up on all the unhealthy food and have to, like, balance it out when I get back. It's like, I had some cheese in my fridge. It's like old cheese. It's like, it's really hard. But you know what? I don't believe in cheese expiration dates, and I don't think I have the expiration date anyway. So if you don't know when it expires, then cheese never expires. That's a fun fact you might not know, but really bad advice, but fun fact nonetheless. And basically, because of that. Also, this is a really good way to fill in my floor. I know, don't worry. But basically, because of the whole cheese thing, I was like, you know, I've heard a rumor that, like, eating cheese before you sleep gives you some bad things, because I just took a nibble and I was like, oh yeah, I heard it gives you bad dreams. So I looked into it, and it's like, the evidence is inconclusive as to whether you do get bad dreams or not from eating cheese before you sleep. And that just made me realize that, you know, I personally really love, like, doing random science experiments, like, on myself. Like, I feel doing different things all the time for yourself, it's good, because you'll work out what things you like. So I was like, okay, for science, in the same way I'm like, you know, I'm gonna master the arts of watching TV shows. So I watched all of Suits. Like, it's all gone now. I have to wait weeks till the next episode comes out. Same thing with watching... exactly the same thing with eating cheese. It's like, it might give you bad dreams. And I had to be curious, so I ate the entire block of cheese. I was like, you know what? Why do this halfway? Why like, you know, just, like, do a little bit of nibbling cheese? Let's get all the cheese in our system, and let's see if we have nightmares. And again, to the best of my recollection, no nightmares. So, fun fact, I can at least eat cheese without getting nightmares. Although turkey, I think turkey really, it gives you stronger dreams, I think, and, like, generally I have worse dreams on turkey. So there you go. There's your fun facts to toy cat. Eat turkey, not cheese. Or eat cheese, not turkey. I know, eat turkey and cheese. It's a really good combination. Before you sleep, if you like to have dreams that are pretty crazy. And I can officially confirm, even though the science says it's inconclusive, cheese is fine, but turkey is not. There you go. Now you know. Anecdotal evidence, way better than real evidence, right? And yeah, I also just wanted to say thank you one more time to anyone who met me this weekend, last weekend, because again, it's always so cool to, like, go out and do a thing. Because I love traveling, and whenever it's an opportunity to, like, do it for a real reason, I'm just like, I'm in love with that whole idea. And if you're someone, actually you're not watching this if you are, but if you're someone who just, like, heard about me vaguely because they're like, oh, I hear there's a YouTuber there, then now you understand my opinion. And I know it's... Oh, although actually, one more thing. I know I'm saying one more thing a billion times. Like, my voice is, like, super hurting. But one more thing before we go. I just want to mention that one other, like... So I always heard that, like, if you own a really weird vintage car, one of the happy moments is, like, when someone actually spots it and is like, oh, I love that thing. Like, people drive their cars just for those few happy moments. I had that kind of happy moment in America because, again, I met, like... they were a really young fan. Like, I don't know who they were subscribed to, but, like, they were maybe 7 years old, maybe 6 or something. Like, super young. Like, so young that I tried to have a conversation with them, and then they'd, like... They shook it off, like... And I was like, well... I guess you're just here. What do you want from me then? Like, I was just trying to, like, talk to these people. You know, like, it's you can have interesting conversations with people and stuff. But, like, this person, like, shook it off. And then it's like, okay, I'll sign your thing, I guess. That's what you want. Because she just gave me a piece of paper. And then her dad was like, oh, are those shoes there? Like, the Adidas, Uncaged. And I was like, oh, yeah. They are, actually. And, he's like, oh, man, they're super cool. You use them for running or whatever. And, like, you know, had a whole conversation about it. And I just love that, like, my shoes got spotted. And that made me feel super happy. So, yeah, my voice is, like, absolutely dead now. I don't know if you can hear it in the way I'm talking. Thank you so much for watching the Let's Play. Like it if you did like it. Share if you really liked it. And subscribe if you're around here. Because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel. And most of them, my voice isn't dying in. So thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.